Alright, this video is about a flail mower that I just ordered and received, and basically this is for MechMaxx to see if I can get support because it has severe damage from the poorly way it was packaged. So I just thought I'd post this and let you see too if you're looking at buying one of these. So basically it arrived by FedEx freight. It was in great shape when it arrived. And I brought it down to my pole barn and got ready to put in and got some shots of it. You can see there's really no shipping damage at all to it. From the looking at the outer packaging, everything was good. The wind did tear some of the plastic from the high winds we have, but basically couldn't really see any damage. So there was no real shipping damage. But stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what I found when I started unpacking it. And again, there you can see everything looks good from the outside. No problem. And there's no way to call MechMaxx. You have to go through email, I just found out, to try to get any kind of support. So I'm making this video because I know they're going to want to see it. And here we are the next day, getting ready to unpack everything, and looking at it, you can see how all these big heavy pieces here were just wired in place and thrown on top of the rest of the mower. There's no real styrofoam packaging or anything to protect stuff. So let's start taking this apart. First thing you do is you cut these wires in. There's some stands for it for when you're going to mount it on the tractor. And then there's more wires, and there's some more big heavy swing out bars for it. They're just laying on top of this other thing here, just kind of bouncing around in the shipping. I guess it came from China, so it came a long ways. And let's take that out. You can see that had that arm sticking down into the hoses there. Here's another heavy arm that was just packed on top of there. And there's some more wires here to cut. I thought I had them all, but it turned out there was still another one around the corner that I didn't get, so I couldn't pick this out yet. Anyway, now I'm starting to notice that like on this piece on top here, it's all marked up, the paint scraped up and everything from those other bars that were laying on it. That little thin bubble wrap did absolutely nothing. And let's see, there's one more piece of wire I got to cut over in the corner there before this comes out. But yeah, it's it's just I'm seeing some damage already in the paint, but that doesn't look too bad. So let's cut that open. Get ready to pick this off, and you can see how that just kind of bounced around on top of the mower there, and it had that sharp edges pointing down into it. And again, we can look at this. You can see kind of where the paint's off and scruffed off and stuff like that there. So that didn't really bother me. But what I saw next really was aggravating. So let's just pick this out of here. And this thing weighs probably about 80 pounds, 75. And it was bouncing around loose the whole way, from China to my house, I guess. So let's get that out of the way. And there was just a very thin piece of foam that was put between them. So now I'm starting to see a little more damage, taking the crate apart here. And it isn't a nice crate. That's why it looked like there, shouldn't be any damage to it or anything. But this is really deceiving because the way they poorly packaged it caused all the damage. So I'm just going to go through here and until I show you what's going on, and then I'm going to stop and wait and see what they do. There's no way to contact them by phone when you buy something from them. You have to go through email, and it goes through China, it looks like. So I'm kind of waiting to hear back now. So the crate does come apart nice. There's absolutely zero damage to the outer, edges of the crate. You can see no dents, no dings. So it really wasn't beat up in shipping. It was just the way everything was packaged and bounced around. And if you notice that bar right there, those hoses down behind it, see that one cut hose in that area there? Well, that hose, the outer sheath is cut, and the hose is half of the way cut through too. And you can see where the other one was, there's a big dent in there, and paint's missing. Everything is, it's a shame how they package this thing. And again, we look at this hose here. This hose, the outer sheath, it's got like a coating on it, but then when you go in there, there's a cut through it, and there's actually a chunk of the hose missing under there. So all these things are going to have to be replaced, and there's more damage from it bouncing around on top. And then if you look over there, everywhere you look on it, there's damage from those pieces just being put loosely on there. And then there's another big one in the front. It's just amazing. I've never had anything with this much damage. So just pull that off of there. That's all that was protecting everything. You can see how it's all beat through in the areas where there were problems. And another big thing that I saw is if you look at the top of that cylinder there, you can see the paint scraped off, and that piece of tubing is half of the way scraped through right here. So that piece of tubing probably would blow up if you put hydraulic pressure on it. And then the PTO, all that shaft safety cover is all smashed up and stuff. So I'm guessing that the way this thing looks, they're going to have to replace it, or I don't know what they can do, send out a lot of parts, but it just doesn't seem like it would be worthwhile. It's, I don't know who, if anybody else has bought one of these and seen this kind of damage, let me know. But like I said, I'm waiting to hear back from them and find out what the next step will be. But, there's surely enough damage in there. That hose underneath there had to cut halfway through it. So, all this stuff would have to be replaced. The cylinder, the hoses, the paint. That right there, that metal bar has it's ground half of the way through from the other thing. So it's, right now, it's total junk. That whole cylinder would have to be replaced, the hoses and, everything else. So we'll see what they do. Time will tell, because nothing happens fast when you're dealing with support in China. But anyhow, I just wanted to make this video. Basically, it's for support, plus hopefully, to warn others of what to look for when they buy one of these.